This is a cursed Lego minifigure, and today I'm going to unbox these disturbed minifigures from these custom mystery minifig packs, and by the end of the video, I'm gonna add them all to my giant Lego city. So grab onto your loose studs and Lego. Now this is a normal everyday Lego Bob, and I need to make him cursed. So I called my friend Brick Kenobi, who's a master minifigure maker. Yo, hey,
Studs?
can you make me a bunch of cursed Lego minifigures?
Sure, say no more. I'm gonna make the most cursed minifigures ever.
Great. Now that shouldn't take long.
1 week later.
All right, it's been a couple weeks. Let's go see if they're here. Yo, no way, it's about to fall in the river. Please don't. Don't you think about it. Yo, these suckers look sick. Danger? What's possibly dangerous about this? All right, now this is gonna be interesting. Why don't we start with this one as our first mystery pack? Oh, and by the way, we're super close to 500,000 subs, so make sure to hit that button, and if you do, I'll blow up Walter. Wait, what? 3, 2, 1. No, wait, no. Whoa. All right, thanks for subbing. Let's open the first pack. All right, so this one has this little X face on it. That's suspicious. I wonder who could possibly be in here. All right, yo, this guy got a stab wound. Okay, so he has this dead face. Bro's low-key like Walter right now. And then he also has normal legs, and he has a hole going right through him. And then I guess this is like a entrance wound, like he got shot. What the heck? Yo! Hey Bob, how are you doing? Not great. Why? Well, if you see, oh my goodness. Bro, this is actually goofy. And look, you just pull in and out and in. Ugh! And then I guess you could also have it go in from both sides, so you can make it look like an arrow just got shot right in front of him. Anyway, I'm giving Mr. Arrow a solid 7 out of 10. It's a pretty simple curse. All right, now we gotta put dead Bob somewhere in the city. Why? Why? Because I said so. So we're just gonna hide him where we hide all the other bodies. In this creepy old house. Well, actually, we can't hide him in the house. Ayana still see him, so he could just hide outside the house. Hey Bob, how do you feel about this hot Florida weather? It really has me dying. Yeah, you go inside. I'll just stay out here in the sun. All right, now I'm low-key hoping the next pack ends up being much more interesting. So why don't we do the strong one? It says stronger. There's an E missing there, you might notice. Well, oh, there's the E, it's on the back. Bro, we're gonna load this Skyscraper. Maybe we'll even put him at the top, but it has to be cool. The coolest one will go at the top. All right, let's dump it out. Bro, what the heck? Oh my goodness. What is this? What the heck is this? Bro, it's like a totally normal dude, right? Right, see, like totally normal Bob. Everyone say hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. And then he has this crazy painted torso. This looks painted anyway. And I guess this is like, has like a minifigure head accessibility. It looks like something that would go on a transformer. And then literally all you have to do is just put this brick in here and it like barely stands. Like, see that? Look at that. Whoa, that's like a loose connection. Then we got this here. Ew. Okay, this guy looks freaking awesome. I don't know if he's top tier, like shelf quality though. All right, I'm giving Mr. Armor a solid like 6 out of 10. He's pretty okay. Maybe he's like a good like rooftop like dancer. We're gonna like put Mr. Strong over here. Epic. All right, now I need to see what this bone one is. This should be interesting. What the heck? Yo, this little minifigure's insides are all carved out. No, bro, Brick Kenobi actually cooked on this one. Look at that. It's got like a bone in his leg. What the heck? You can't even like stand him upright unless you do this, because the hole is being filled by a bone. She also got all these like guts coming out over here. And then we have this piece. Yo, bro, and the heart's in there. Look how detailed it is. We got a heart and all the veins and the arms being held in. All right, we're gonna be very careful with this. That's crazy. And then we're just gonna sneak on the head. Yo, is that a minifig brain? Bro, so that's what they look like on the inside. And it's also a girl one. That's crazy. Hey, yo, this one's got a screwed up head. Yeah, it's crazy, Jersey boy. Yo, she might be the most detailed cursed one, so I'm giving her easy 10 out of 10 status. All right, now we have a whole bunch of packs here, and I think I'm gonna go for this one. All right, let's crack-a-lack-a-ding-dong. What is this? like goo minifigure? Bruh. You could take off his head and he just has legit like green goo coming out of him. I guess that explains the painted lines. Bro, what did they do to his foot? I'd be lying if I didn't say he looked like he was about to turn into the Incredible Hulk. Bro, what is going on with the head? He literally carved up this section of the head and this section. All right, we're gonna open up and see what it looks like in here. Yo, he's got some craniumage in there and he's missing a hand. There's like this black painter, they burnt his hand off or something. Bro, but at least he has the stud on his head, unlike the other one. This one's honestly kind of epic. Definitely one of the more creative ones. I'm gonna put him in the city square. Yeah, bro might need to take a bath. All right, let's open up our next minifigure. Sneaky Neighbors, what? Has a 3 on here. What is this numbering system? All right, we're just gonna crack-a-lack-a-ding-dong. What, bro, what? What is that? Oh, I get it.
Ugh, finally, some privacy. Hi, just checking in. Bro, stop, please. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, flush the toilet. No, please stop. Sorry. Please stop looking at me.
All right, I'm giving Longboy a 7 out of 10. He's definitely the most sus figure so far. You know, I know exactly where to put bro. We're gonna put him right over here. See, look, he looks normal. Hey everybody, it's me, Bob. And then you just turn up here and bro, what is going on? It's so goofy. The roofs are slowly getting filled with cursed minifigs. All right, I need to see what this one is. It's like a 4 squared cube. All right, let's crack-a-lack-a-ding-dong. Oh, well that's normal. Is that it? Oh my goodness. Oh, yo, they cut off his leg. So it's literally just a hole inside of him. I guess they couldn't do that to his arm too. Would have destroyed the minifig's integrity. Right, Bob? Yeah.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Hey, Bob, are you okay? Yeah, I just feel a little empty inside. What do you mean? I mean, it feels like someone ripped my heart out of my chest. What about the rest of your chest? Wait, what? Oh my gosh! Wait, I have to try something. What do you have to try? Blocky, stop it, no! Get out of my heart, bruh, what are you doing? Sorry, we can't be friends anymore. It's actually crazy you could violate another minifig like this. Bro, what happened to his arm? All right, I'm giving this guy with the hole in him like a 7 out of 10 because he's just missing a piece. Now I know exactly where to put him. We have these flagpoles up here and we're just gonna yoink. Awesome, bro, that's so cool. All right, let's open up the next minifig. This one I'm not concerned at all about. I mean, it looks a little dead. All right, let's see who's inside. Party? Bro, this looks like one of those wacky, wavy, arm inflatable and flailing tube mans. You know those?
Wacky, waving, inflatable, arm flailing tube man.
Wait. We need to get you a torso. What do you mean a torso? I just took this one from my friend Bob. Which Bob? Don't worry about it. All right, I think Blocky just wants us to do this. Bruh. Oh, yo, this is actually sick. All right, now he's a party animal and I want everyone to see it. So he's gonna go on top of this groovy 50s diner. See, it says diner, D-I-N-E-R, diner. And we can open up long. Bro, this is so funny. What the heck? Is the paint just wiping off? Bro, why did he paint this? Why didn't he just like Sharpie marker in it? Bruh. What is this? What is this business? Bro, look how tall it is. Now, you know mommy long legs? This is daddy long legs, because it's a dude. All right, so it looks like he cut off like the legs and just extended it using clay. Now, do these still function? They do. Bro. Bro, this could actually be the most epic minifig we've done. This might be a 12 out of 10. All right. See, look, perfectly normal Bob, or so you'd think. Hey, how's the weather up there? Oh, will you stop? Everyone always asks me that. Well, I know one thing they don't ask you. What's that? Have you ever played basketball? And this is him. He's literally 2 minifigures tall. Look, see, we have me, and then we have Bob. Well, actually, wait. Boop. Now we have Bob. Hey, see, look, we're as tall as you. Ha 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 ha. Ugh. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. But this might be my favorite minifigure. I would put him in the tower, but we're a little congested up here right now. Maybe he could fix the coffee sign. All right, we're gonna just put him down on a stud. Oh, we're gonna move this over to here, and boom, now we can see him. All right, so this area is filling up a little bit more. I wanna put someone else right here. So let's do that. Let's open up the danger pack. D-A-N-G-E-R. That spells shortcut.
D-A-N-G-E-R, shortcut. I'll prove it to you.
All right, let's crack it. What the? Bruh, who is this? Bro, who is this? Brian, who's this? Is this Glorbulock? I don't even know who that is. Bro, I could literally just... Bruh, who are you? I've legitimately never seen this character before. It's like a monster Bob. It's a Bobster. All right, Bobster, you can be my friend.
Thank you, Blocky.
All right, no, I don't want you to be my friend. Aw. All right, Mr. Monster is getting like a 6. It just seems a little too random for me. All right, now what do we do with Blobster? Instead of Bobster Monster, it's just Blobster. You know what? I'm going to put him in front of the coffee shop. He can wait for a nice tea. Maybe he will meet a monster friend over here. All right, it looks like we're down to our last 2 bags. So we're gonna do this one. All right, this should be interesting. Bruh. Who is this? Bro literally looks like melted ice cream. He's got like a little mustache going on and his eyes are all droopy and his chin is all... Yeah, I had no clue what's going on. Bro, but he looks like a low-key vibe. Like, I would totally invite him to my party. Bro looks like he's been melted on a Florida sunny dashboard. Florida man, what are you even talking about? I don't know, leave me alone, I'm having a good time. All right, I'm giving this guy like a 5. All right, let's put him in the city. And you know what? Since he's in front of the skyscraper, we're gonna put him right on top. He'll like advertise the whole building. And then we could open up our final pack. I'm really excited about this one. There's a bone on it, so hopefully there's a cool fig in it. All right. Let's crack-a-lack-a-doo. What the? Yo, bro. It's like the bone one, but instead of it being a physical bone, it's a printed bone, which might be less cool. Yo, but it's this like translucent thing. And bro, his brains are popping out. Look at his shoulder blades. Whoa. Yo, this is a cool minifig. This might be the coolest one we've gotten yet. It's like a fully see-through with all the muscles. It's like those diagrams you see in like high school. See, look, there's one right there. Oh, this is easily getting a 10 out of 10. All right, we're just gonna put the last one right here. Anyways, now I think it's time that we open even more cursed minifigures, so let's do that. Right, guys? Right? This is a cursed Lego Darth Vader. These are Death Troopers, and this is a disturbed Squidward Yoda. And today I went to the website Citizen Brick and bought a bunch of weirdly molded heads and printed torsos, from a really disturbing Jango Fett to a clone trooper lacking clothes. But there's a catch. By the end of this video, I have to create an alternate timeline where no character in Star Wars is safe, from the prequels and originals to shows and even the sequel trilogy. With that said, hit that subscribe button because we're trying to go for 175,000 subscribers and Lego. So to start off, we need to make some original characters. So we have the chosen one, Darth Vader, who I turned into Dad Bod Vader. He has a tattoo that says Mom on it. And he definitely doesn't like it when you take off the helmet. We also have his mom, who is dead, because, you know. And we also have his wife, Padme, who's also dead, because, you know, geez, Anakin. We got Princess Leia, who certainly looks like she's seen better days.
You stupid.
And we have her brother Luke, who's just seen her. That definitely wouldn't be complete without the loyal droids R2-D2, that looks extremely irritated, and also C-3PO, who's now a Muppet. Honestly, that's probably one of the least surprising things here. One big happy family. Also, Han Solo's kind of ticked for not being allowed in the family photo. At least Chewie has a family. Han's an orphan. Speaking of orphans, here's one that doesn't like sand very much. Specifically, I am talking about Anakin Skywalker. This version of Anakin has been completely consumed by sand.
I don't like sand.
He ended up getting picked up by this Jedi Master named Qui-Gon Jinn and this Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. But that Qui-Gon guy ended up dying to a Sith named Darth Maul, who I dressed up as Captain Hook, because it makes him look 10 times more epic. And now also Obi-Wan can fly to cut his hand off, just like in the movie. Oh wait, no, he cut his legs off. Captain Hook and Darth Maul kind of got a lot in common. After all that, Obi-Wan brought Anakin back to the Jedi, and he got to meet some cool masters, like Squidward Yoda, who's also always ticked. The Force we must use. Will you go use the dark side somewhere else? We also have Mace Windu as a cowboy, a blue Muppet Jedi, and one who already looks cursed as is, so I dressed him up as a hot dog. And these guys don't want Anakin hanging around this weird Palpatine guy, because he's a bad influence, and they gave him a Padawan who's orange named Ahsoka. She kind of looks like a Disney character. I also made a version of her as a drummer because it looks kind of absurd. And in the first battle of this war, Cowboy Mace Windu cut off Jango Fett's head, and then 2 more just randomly popped up, alongside an entire clone army which showed up to save the Jedi from Count Dooku. He's a spiffy guy who talks like a true gentleman, so I gave him the monocle.
Lollipops.
And the clones came in to save the rescue. We have a one-eyed Cyclops clone, a Cookie Monster clone, a Ripped clone, a SpongeBob clone, and even some Iron Man clones. But how can I forget the Chick-fil-A clone? Also this one. This one's down bad. And it also turns out his master is that fat guy from earlier, Papa Palpatine. Anyway, they taught a ton of bad guys during the Clone War, from Sad Bane to General Grievous. Anakin and Ahsoka fought alongside Captain Rex, who is going for that T-Rex vibe, as well as Candy Corn Commander Cody and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan also fought the skeleton robot man named Grievous, who is actually made out of a skeleton. Probably doesn't take too much work to pop him. It was all fun and games, except for when Anakin would have to take out a small group of Tusken villagers for killing his mom. No, Anakin, Anakin, not the women and the children too. It also kind of sucked whenever a random clone just died. No, not that guy. And things started to go downhill when Papa Palpatine, who turned out to be evil, went to get some chicken nuggets.
Sir, how many nuggets do you want?
I want to order 66.
It will be done, my lord.
No, not yet. No, wait. After that, everything went wild. Papa Palpatine got in a fight with Cowboy Mace Windu and threw him out the window. The Clone Boys started to turn on the Jedi and a bunch died. Rip. No. Also, Anakin and Obi-Wan got into a big fight, and Anakin got super messed up.
Baba Booey.
And then he took that all out on a bunch of kids. No, Anakin, don't! Ah! Look how they massacred my boy. Like, literally, his face is melting off. And his wife gave birth to twins, and is now also dead. But hey, at least Squidward Yoda survived, so at least that's something. And so did all these guys. Next up is this dark period, where the Empire kind of just ran everything. Clone Boys all turned into stormtroopers, and these clones in a squad, the Bad Batch, which are essentially a real-life version of cursed Lego figures. And these are some of the most disturbed minifigures I can imagine. These guys have gigantic heads. This one has a gorilla costume because he kind of acts like one. This one usually wears a skull on his bandana, so I just made his entire face a skull. And Omega only has one eye now and looks like a dude. This looks ridiculous. There are also tons of rebels and Jedi that started popping up, like Ezra, who took on Grand Admiral Thrawn. But Thrawn used his forearms to beat the crud out of Ezra and put some tape over his mouth because he wouldn't shut up. And now it is time for the OG trilogy. Remember those kids that Padme had? Now they're starting to cause some problems. One ran into Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is now old, and looks like the grandpa from Family Guy. And they all got together to meet up with Cowboy Han Solo, who got in a duel with Sheriff Greedo, who is looking for Jabba's money. We'll get to him in a bit. And they teamed up with the Rebel Alliance, which has some amazing fighters like Jet Porkin. Yes, this is a Porky Pig head on a Rebels pilot outfit. And long story short, things didn't work out so well for the Empire. Anyway, now the Empire is on the hunt for the Rebels, and Luke finds out that Vader's his dad. And when the Empire switched over to Stormtroopers, they had some new variants. It's one that's a police officer, from one with a really stretched out face, one that's a chef, one that's a robber, one that's Batman, and one that's James Bond. The Rebels also run into this guy, Lando Calrissian, who sells out Han Solo to this Muppet-looking Boba Fett, who I actually have like an action figure of. Like, it's really weird looking. Anyway, Chewie was pretty upset at him because he gave up Han Solo. That's why he has the bloody eye. Now remember that Greedo guy? Who was his boss? This is Rada the Hutt, who is standing in for Jabba because it can't afford that minifigure because it's $1 billion. And also it's really funny looking. Dude has 4 arms. Anyway, he got his crew with Bib Fortuna, who looks like he's seen better days, T-Neck guy, as well as a Spider-Man alien. An E.T. guy. E.T. was actually in Star Wars too. Bet you didn't know that. And one of the most disturbing minifigures we have had on yet, Kermit the Frog. I have serious regret in a number of areas about this one. This is probably one of the most regrettable minifigures that will ever be made in Lego. What have I done? Moving on, they get back to Han and Luke saves the day. Also, his dad dies, saving him. And this is Palpatine's reaction to another Death Star blowing. And it turns out the ones who are mostly responsible for the destruction of the Death Star are these angry little teddy bear people called Ewoks. I made this one into the Tasmanian Devil. Also, there's this fish face guy, Admiral Akbar, who runs a little fishing store. Anyway, the Rebels were very happy that it was over. And in celebration, I decided to make some more Rebels, like Wilro Hood. He was the guy that ran around in The Empire Strikes Back with the ice cream thing. And he also has some melting ice cream in his hand. I also had to make some minifigures from the Complete Saga game with this annoyed-looking Rebel friend figure. And how could I leave out Macho Mustache Man? But before we go to the sequels, I want to have a speed round with 10 of the most cursed minifigures I could think of. First, we have the Mandalorian with Baby Yoda in a diaper outfit. Now, Mando only has one eye, which is probably why he keeps the helmet on the whole time, and how it actually works because he can't see out of those things with 2 eyes. This is a $300 minifigure Darth Revan. I swapped his face for this disturbing gray one. We also have a big brain Gonk droid, Hawaiian Yoda, a Kaminoan who is completely shredded using the Morbius torso, and one of my personal favorites, the droid bodybuilder. Look at this little guy. I feel like he could like lift literally anything, even that Gonk droid. Now for 7 and 8, these are stormtroopers and a death trooper, and I wanted to turn them into actual death, so I gave them some zombie faces, and I think it looks pretty darn scary. At 9, we have Darth Morbius, and at 10, we have his master, Darth Jar Jar, the most cursed minifigure of all. Sequel time. The first character we're introduced to in the sequels is Rey. She grew up on a water planet, which is why she's a mermaid, not a sand planet. That's been done before, twice. Anyway, she ran into this guy, BB-8, and joined the new rebellion to fight the First Order. BB-8 doesn't look that enthused about it. Also, here's Rey as a Minecraft character, because she kind of like looks like one. She met some new friends like Poe, who just had too much hot sauce, barfed all over himself, and his buddy Finn, who thought that was kind of gross. Why you bully me? And here's Rose. We don't We don't talk about Rose. Anyway, they took on the huge new corporate empire run by Mickey Mouse, I think. Oh, and of course General Hugs, who I made using an Ernie from Sesame Street head. Tell me this doesn't look accurate. Also, total side note, but the First Order Stormtroopers look incredibly dumb. So it wasn't that hard to change them around. I gave this one a really tall face, and I gave the other one Patrick Starr's head. First Order also had a droid named BB-9E. He's BB-8's arch nemesis. Also, surprise, surprise, it turns out that that girl Rey's grandfather is Papa Palpatine. Somehow survived. Literally in the movie, they say somehow. They don't even explain it.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
It doesn't matter, she kills him again, and everything works out just fine. And now that they've been defeated, all the cursed minifigures can come together and rejoice to tell you to hit that subscribe button, because you just sat through a whole video without subscribing. This is a cursed Lego minifigure, this is 10 cursed Lego minifigures, and this is 100 cursed Lego minifigures. And today I'm going to challenge myself to create 100 of the dumbest and most inappropriate Lego minifigures using real and specialty parts I bought. From this guy with a really weird head, a man with his guts spilling out, and even a custom Lego Stephen Hawking. But there's a twist. By the end of this video, I'm going to build some of the biggest and most impressive Lego sets ever made to defend these 100 cursed minifigures from my 6-year-old cousin who's really good at destroying Lego. So let the challenge commence. The first minifigure I built is a naked scribble face cowboy. I took the bad cop alternate face and put it on this especially cursed Lego printed gut. Then I grabbed some Lego people colored pants from my collection and put it on, and it makes him look naked. Oh, we gotta censor that, that's too much. Then there was this cowboy just innocently minding his business in his Wild West town when Scribbleface came out of nowhere and ate him, then stole his arms and took his hat. And now we have this abomination of a man I'm naming Sheriff Scribbles. Now I love minions, and I want to take Lego Gru and make him cursed. So first I robbed Pinocchio of his head, then I popped it onto this torso with the scarf, then I tried making him tall with these 1x1 pieces and grabbed some 1x1 studs to make him thick. And now we have a fully functioning, tall Gru who doesn't need to steal the moon because his butt's already the size of one.
I sit on the toilet.
And this is a generic Lego SpongeBob. After looting my minifigure parts, I turned him into what SpongeBob would look like if you stretched him out and added a head on top of him, because the Lego head colors match SpongeBob. And I also wanted to make him a friend like Squidward, so I took this disturbing looking one from 2006 with a very scary print and put the new Squidward head on without replacing the old one. And now we have this weird double-faced mutant Squid Man who will totally haunt you at night. Ringing splasher. And these are two old man Muppets from the Muppet Show, and I'll be honest, there's nothing worse than seeing a shirtless old guy. Put a shirt on!
Leave us alone, kids.
Sir, put that thing away, there are children here.
Oh, what?
I built up a hot tub and put in some blue studs for water, then we placed the old boys in. And now they can hide themselves from the public. One of the most cursed things on the internet these days is Skibbity Toilet. It's a singing head that pops out of a toilet when you try to use the bathroom. So I built this abomination starting with a toilet build, then I just placed the head in the center of it, and now you have a Skibbity Toilet. And this next one is also pretty skibbity because it is a radio head. These guys wear suits and have a radio for a head. That's it. I know nothing else about these guys. This is the figure. Next I got the Little Mermaid minifigure and swapped out her tail for some dinosaur legs with a giant tail. Then I put on his face with some really bushy eyebrows and this disturbing head. Frozen abomination. Now please keep these things away from me. Now there's this company Citizen Brick known for making really cursed Lego minifigures and molding special pieces that look like your average Walmart customers. So let's open up their box and see what we got. So first we have this tall Furby, which is supposed to look like those weird bird toys with a really tall head, a skeleton rib cage with bird feathers and jean short shorts and really giant hands. Wait, what? The hands are honestly big enough to hold a Lego baby Jesus with full beard microfigure and a microfigure baby shark. I guess this is the new babysitter. Citizen Brick also made this guy named Invisible Man. You can see all of this guy's guts, bones, muscles, and even brains. This minifigure is also really expensive and costs over $300 on eBay. This next one is Stephen Hawking. And I'm gonna be honest, this one might not even be cursed. But is it offensive? Probably. Comes with his wheelchair, a bunch of cool games to play like Space Invaders, and an especially out-of-pocket head mold. The reason I like this is because he can stand and do a bunch of things he can never do before. And this has to be one of my favorite figures. This is a Patrick Bateman minifigure from the movie American Psycho, and also literally me. He comes with a clear trench coat and an axe, so that way when he takes out the Skibbity Toilet, his clothes will still be clean. Citizen Brick also molded those wavy arm guys you see on the side of the road at car dealerships. Like this one I bought of a broken and depressed looking Kermit the Frog. What did they do to bro? And also this 18-pack gym bro who definitely skips arm day, but especially skips leg day. And what's worse about these guys is they can actually be used as heads on Lego minifigure torsos. Is this not the worst abomination you've seen in your whole life? Maybe not, but this one is. It's a balding Lego Italian man, also known as a mobster who kills people. I caught Mr. Soprano with 3 of his friends who are totally ready to go all out and beat you up on a street corner for not pressing the subscribe button. Hey bud, you should subscribe or my friend over here is gonna have some issues with you. So subscribe if you don't want to be beat up by these good fellas. And speaking of death, the Titanic was a tragedy and also a Lego set that I bought, which is huge. And in the movie Titanic, this character Rose chilled on top of a door that was floating while her boy Jack was sinking in the water. Rose, can you let me on? There's only room for 1. The door says room for 2.
I am under the water. Please help me.
Hey, is that an RV? I think it is. It looks like my favorite chemistry teacher is chilling over there with some blue crystals. I'm actually gonna pair him up with Stephen Hawking so that way they can do experiments together.
Nice chance to look at me, Hector.
There are also 2 more of those baby figures, like this tattoo baby who says mom on him, and a blockhead baby. And they're all gonna chill with our tall Furby bro. Would you leave your child with him? Now, since my cousin is coming over and will definitely try to destroy all 100 other boys, we'll need to set up some defenses. So I got a freaking castle. And we're gonna build it up and use it as a defensive base for all our Lego figures. It also comes with 22 figures so I can turn cursed. For our next figure, I need to build a king. So I grabbed this simple soldier, popped his head off and put on a cape, then I gave him a haircut, and now he's Borat.
King in the castle, king in the castle. Have a chair, I have a chair.
Now I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the queen minifig that comes in this set. So I grabbed this old-timey Victorian lady and swapped her face out with this cursed clown head. And I have to say, she did a pretty good job with her makeup. Now the next minifigure is the wizard, and I want to turn him into a bishop. Yeah, like in chess. So I popped his head and beard off, and then placed it onto this college graduate minifigure. And then I took the wizard's staff, took the diamonds off, and added some brown hands, and now he's a bishop. My powers will compel you. And next up, I grabbed this kid to use as a pawn. So I went to my head collection and found this really disturbing face. I popped it on. How did this ever get made? And next I took this black and blue soldier and one of the first ever editions of a Lego minifigure. And you'll notice they don't have arms. So I popped the torso onto his legs and then gave him a new silver helmet.
'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, it isn't.
And now we have one of each piece you would need on a chessboard. I also wanted to make an archer, but instead of doing the furry one from Disney, I made this one a different kind of furry. Hopefully this doesn't stay in your nightmares. Now there are a bunch of soldiers and people throughout the castle, and I want to try to make them as cursed as possible. Starting off, this one's pretty simple. I swapped out this simple soldier with a giant blue head and hands. A medieval soldier being a weird alien is not the weirdest thing to happen. And this is a stash box. Basically, the company that made all those cursed minifigures also makes this mystery box where you get some of the weirdest, most cursed Lego items you've ever seen. They included a guitar pick in this. And it had a bunch of unique parts, so I'm gonna try to make them into unique minifigs. Like this double-headed guy. He's black and white and really scary. What's even scarier is the skeleton in the cell turning into a giant baseball. This is actually really funny and one of the most disturbing Legos I've ever seen. Let's hope nobody hits him with a bat. And this is a Julius monkey, and this is your everyday grocer. Now what would happen if you turned into Julius the monkey? Well, I guess this would happen. I also took this really heavily armored knight with flags and a bucket and a whole backpack by first getting rid of his head and his hands, then swapping them out with these green ones. So now he may very well have the largest head and hands of any minifigure ever. And this is what you're gonna look like if you don't press that notification bell. One of my favorite ones to make is Underwear Man. He's like the wacky wavy arm man from earlier, but this time he has a hairy chest with underwear. And we're gonna use him as a face for that guy who owns a cow. When I said things were gonna be cursed in this video, I meant cursed. I also made a double-headed lava guy, and for this guy I took his axe and turned it into a stick, and his face and turned it into a reindeer. What in tarnation? This will actually haunt my nightmares. One of my favorites is this old maid lady, because when I popped off her head, I put on this giant minifigure head that looks completely oblivious. Oh, and I put some ice cream in the cup. Those sprinkles actually make that low-key look kind of tasty. Wah wah. I also made a Christmas tree man with this exclusive part, and I wanted to use the rest of the parts from Woody, so I also popped his head onto a soldier. And then I loaded the castle up with all of the minifigures we just built because defense is very important. So I asked some subscribers what cursed minifigures they wanted to see me make. Like this guy who said I should make an incredibly menacing and heavily armored Swedish chef. So I popped the chef's head off and placed it on this War Machine torso with an armor extension from a Star Wars character, and then I gave him some backpack details, like this extra gun, a calculator, and a little chef's spindle. And to make him extra cool, I gave him this epic minigun. I'd honestly be scared to mess with this guy. Now let's see what the Swedish chef thinks about that.
What do we have here? Oh, hey, little chef. Oh, very good. Oh, nom, 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 nom.
I'd say that's pretty epic. But you know who else is epic? Abraham Lincoln and Batman. And it's pretty easy to just take off Batman's head, replace it with Abraham Lincoln, and boom, now you have a President Batman. This guy's trying to figure out how many heads I can attach to a minifig. And to start, I put on a specially molded double head, so that way we can hold double the heads. And after stacking them all on, I was able to stack up about 28 heads in his hand. That's almost outrageous looking, and it wouldn't really stand without studs. Also, it's kind of weird how it looks like a giant V. Next, I need to have a Skibbity toilet drinking a Grimace shake in a McDonald's with Grimace. Here it is, and this might be the new most cursed thing I've ever seen. All right, now we got to do a cursed Glizzy figure. And I took the Glizzy baby from Citizen Brick and put him on this native torso. And I wanted to give him the head garb, but I think he looks cooler with the hot dog costume. I also put a Glizzy in his hand, and he's gonna do everything he can to stay away from the... This is a chicken, and this is a businessman. What do you get when you combine them? A chicken businessman. Next are these conjoined twins sharing a Starbucks cup, Florida Man being combined with Blocky McBlockface, and Blocky McBlockface being combined with Florida Man. Okay, this is actually creeping me out a little. I'm also selling Florida Man on my website, if you want to buy one. And for number 56, we have the guy from Fortnite, Mr. Beast. Hey look, it's the guy from Fortnite. Next, I made Benny from the Lego Movie, but with muscles. And for the last one, I was told to make a most cursed detective minifigure I could come up with, so I copped the new detective minifigure and put on a Citizen Brick head that looks like it's bleeding black. And his microscope actually works. Speaking of, it's a bit of a mystery why you're not subscribed yet. So now that we have fan choices built up, I'm gonna need a new place to put all these figures. So how about building the largest Lego skyscraper ever designed? So I got another castle. And this just so happens to be the largest Lego skyscraper ever. So let's build. This thing is awesome. This thing's half as tall as me, and already has someone trying to jump at it. Probably because we're about to make all of the minifigures in this set cursed. And there are a lot of them. First, the Hulk. And since Yoda has the same color as him, I put his head on, and now he looks really disturbed, but I might use his head later. Next is the guy who was jumping out of the building, Iron Man, and I turned him into Iron Lung. And there are actually 3 Iron Mans in this set, so we made the other ones Iron Woman and Tin Man. They're all different kinds of metals. Please clap. And this is Captain America, my favorite Avenger. I knew we had to make him pretty special. So we caked him up, gave him an American flag, and a cool shield with the face on it. Cap, that's America's stud. And since there are 2 Captain Americas in this set, I made Captain Underpants. I also wanted to see what Thor would look like if he was hit by a bolt of lightning, and well, here he is. And then I took a wrinkly old guy and replaced him with the face of the CEO of Marvel. Rose got a coffee and a shawarma. We also have Nick Fury, who might or might not be a covert Jedi and is missing his right hand. Oh, and did I mention he has a lightsaber? And here's one of the most useless Avengers, Hawkeye. You might be wondering why he has an eye patch. Because he shot an arrow and it bounced back into his eye. And then we have Black Unwidowed, because she's gonna get married. Oh, how sweet. Instead of the Hulk smashing Loki, I turned the Hulk into Loki. Yeah, this looks a bit precarious. Hulk, god of mischief. And there are 18 more figures in this set we have to make cursed, so I'm gonna speed round them. I made all the Chitauri zombies, which are already pretty cursed. I turned 2 of the security guards into Minecraft characters, and I turned Iron Man's security guard into a dog. I also made Vision Fluffy, made this bug lady into an extraterrestrial, and made Wong need some more clothes. And then I made everyone else into cursed Looney Tune characters. Or just making a version of them if they were to fall off the building and splatter all over the ground. Bugs and Daffy look dapper, but my favorite is Speedy Gonzales. He looks like a grandma after a spray tan. And now that we have a bit of a city going, I want to have some street vendors. And speaking of cities, you know those cursed costume guys you see when you go into New York? Yeah, those. How about we build them in Lego? Let's build Elmo, Cookie Monster, Winnie the Pooh, and Mickey Mouse. It's pretty easy because you just pop a face in and they all kind of look like they're on depressants, like in real life. This is like when you ask your mom to go to Disney World and she says we have Disney World at home. And for our last 7, I'm gonna have some of my friends pick out what cursed minifigures we should do, including Evan Tube. So let's start with my friend Nick. All right, Nick, so what kind of cursed guy are we gonna make?
I don't know, I'm more of a big figure kind of guy, you know, I like the big dudes. I think we should try to put a cape on this guy.
All right, so I grabbed the Lego Man and the big fig of Harry Potter, popped his arms off, and then swapped it out with Lego Man. Bada bing, bada boom, he looks like an average Redditor. And now I have some suggestions from my YouTuber friends.
What up, Republic Studs? I want you to build a duck riding a brick separator like a surfboard on a wave.
Hey Studs, try building a minifigure that's doing the worm, except the worm is really, really long.
What's up, channel editor Blitz here. I want you to take a Tauntaun, a Rancor, and a Wampa. First add the Wampa arm onto the Rancor, then put the Tauntaun arm on the hand of the Rancor, and then just mix the rest of the pieces together. Please make this easy so I can edit it.
Build me a winged creature with the 3 heads of Yoda, Fozzie Bear, and Catwoman playing ping pong against John Cena.
And his name is John Cena!
Yo, what's up? It's Evan too. For your next cursed minifigure, I'm gonna have you do a pig wearing a top hat, wearing a jetpack, wearing maybe let's go with a purple shirt and blue jeans. I'm just curious to see how this is gonna turn out.
And this is all 100 minifigures. I'm actually really proud of how this came out. This is the most impressive thing I've ever built, but now it's time to get my cousin and show him this incredible Lego thing I just built.
Okay, Hudson, are you ready to go see my new Lego set?
Yes.
You're not gonna destroy it, right?
All right, Hudson, what do you think of that? Wanna come see it? You like it?
Yeah.
Good. What are you doing there? No. What are you doing? Oh my, dude! No! Oh my god! No! No, stop! Oh no, okay. No. Why do you do that? All right, so the castle took most of the beating, but the tower pretty much survived.
Bye-bye.
Do you need to destroy it anymore? Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, then say you're sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't think you're sorry.
Subscribe.
Well, he's not wrong about that.